All right, here we go. Here we go. I am so excited tonight, you guys. I have Miss Frankie here with me. We are getting inspired with Frankie tonight. I hope she can tell you a little bit about herself and a little bit about what she's been doing lately, you guys. I'm excited to have her. She has been inspiring us all, telling us to check our feelings, telling with our mindset. She was like, face those feelings today, change your life. So I thought I would give her a second to tell you a little bit about her, and then we can kind of go from there.
Absolutely. Hello, everyone. So, my name is Frankie, and I'm the host of Facing Feelings with Frankie. And so, the channel was kind of inspired right after the pandemic. You know, a lot of things happened with people going through different things. And I was having the urge to reach out to people and to try to encourage them and uplift them. But it was just so many people. And I'm like, how can I get this out there to, a broad audience all at one time? So
Right.
that was the birth of Facing Feelings with Frankie. I kind of fought with the Lord about it a lot. You know, we, tussled and, I reverted back to your arms are too short to box with God. So just let it be, surrender and and go ahead and be obedient.
And here we are walking in this right now, and I'm like, same thing. I think I fought it for I don't even know how long.
hmm
And here,
I couldn't sleep at night. It's just on my mind constantly, like, you need to go live. You need to go live. And I'm like, I am a person that don't go live on Facebook. I
no,
don't do that. Yeah, I like to talk and do that, but I like to do that behind the scenes. Like, I'm not ready to be out there like that. And he's like, okay, but I made you ready. So just go. And I'm like, well,
at
let
least
me,
you got the same check that I got. He was
yeah. I'm like, let me think on it a little bit more. And it's like, nope, you're not gonna do no thinking. Not on my watch. Like, this is what I'm calling you for.
well, Lord, Frankie, we just started, and I feel like I'm hot. You throw me under the bus.
Look.
This gonna be short. You didn't have to come for me already. Look, my blood pressure.
he was putting me in check. And I was just like, wait a minute. Where did
Yeah.
this come from?
Yeah, because it was like, do you want to? That's why I said in like one of my videos, the first ones, I was like, he was relentless. Like at the point, I mean, like every
Mm-hmm.
message I scrolled on, people coming up to me out in public,
Mm-hmm.
and I was like, I get it. I'm coming.
Mm-hmm.
Really, and I try to tell people sometimes it is like with God, I feel like it's you get the message,
Mm-hmm.
and then he's like, hello?
Yeah.
We're like, hold on, Lord, let me process,
Right.
pray. Didn't you say seek counsel?
Right.
Didn't you ask us to seek counsel? Like, what are we doing?
Exactly. But he's saying, look, seek counsel when you don't know what you're supposed to do. I'm telling you what you're supposed to do. Go ahead and launch out into the deep. You
Yes.
don't have to
Oh,
know.
come
Just that
on.
faith.
Come
That faith.
on.
That is it.
Yes. And I think that's where we kind of
Mm-hmm.
don't get me started. Yeah, I know. I'm biting it real hard. Cause it's like, okay, I understand that I'm supposed to jump.
Mm-hmm.
And I walk to the edge slowly. Stand there and evaluate.
mm-hmm.
Then jump. And this, what we're doing right here, I'm gonna be honest, like I said, 2021 to now.
Mm-hmm.
Then it started speeding up because I was like, I must be getting to the point where he's like, either I am tired of repeating myself
Right.
or I'm about to miss my divine appointment. One of the two
Mm-hmm.
happened, and he is
Mm-hmm.
not playing these games.
Exactly. Every other aspect is going to be uncomfortable. I'm going to make it uncomfortable for you.
Yeah.
If you think that you're comfortable doing what you're doing right now, mm-mm-mm. I'm about to throw something in there and make you
Yes.
uncomfortable. And I'm just like,
Yes.
okay.
Yeah, but you're doing a great job. I love the videos and it's timely. And I know everybody like, yeah, come
Mm-hmm.
for us, girl. So what other than that, like, tell them about your schooling. I know you went to school and you
Yeah.
see your
So I
dad,
did.
life
We
coach.
both went to South University. I was getting my bachelor's then in
Yeah,
psychology.
yeah,
And then I went to Liberty right during the pandemic as well and got my master's
yeah,
in human services counseling
yeah.
with a cognate of marriage and family.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and people have often, asked me since I graduated, like, what's next?
Mm.
And I had to stop answering
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
because
Mm-mm.
if I'm being honest, while
Mm.
I'm letting God lead me, I don't know what's next.
Thank you.
Completely. So I
Mm.
can't say, oh, well, yeah, I'm going to apply this place and do this and do that because truth be told, I feel like the direction that I'm being pushed in, like I'm not going to work a traditional job.
Oh, God. Mm. Mm.
So it's just like, you know, and I was actually in the program to become a mental health counselor, to
Wow.
become a licensed professional counselor.
Okay.
Um, And right in the middle of that, here's me and God again, face to face. And I'm saying, God, I have this planned out. Like I had my plan. I'm enrolling into this program.
Yeah.
This is what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
I'm going to carry it out. I'm going to do my time. Like it's going to be great. And year one, he's like, no,
Okay.
because education is good. Don't get me wrong. What I learned from my classes, I'm definitely using that right here in my everyday life. But I came to the realization that career wise, the traditional route of, getting your master's and going up in the chain, no, he said, you don't need all that because I'm certifying you. You're going to be licensed under me. So you don't need to go through the clinicals and do supervision and all of this because I'm supervising you. I'm the one that's overseeing what you're doing. So yeah, you had a plan, but I had a plan. And I said, you know what? Now, I mean, so I'm supposed to just switch my major like this? And he's like, sure. Why not?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, oh my goodness, thinking like, now people will be like, oh, well, when you going to start your, and I'm just like, but I came to a point to say, look, if I'm doing this,
Yeah.
being obedient to the Lord, I don't care what nobody have to say. I
Mm-hmm.
have to get out of that mindset. And that video that I made from freeing myself from people, I literally was there and I had to be like, these people don't pay your bills. Yeah, they may be rooting for you. Yeah, some of them may be family and friends. They may be close to you. But at the same point in time, it's like you're the head.
Oh.
And I'm not going to go ahead of you any longer because that's what I've been doing. Trying to
Mm-hmm.
figure my own way, just doing this and doing that and doing this. And time is up for that. So if I'm saying that I'm going to be obedient and I'm going to follow, I'm just going to have to do that. No explanation to anybody because I
My
can't explain God.
Listen, I told you you gonna get on here and bless the girl speechless. I'm like, ooh, my face hurting. I'm
I
like,
can't explain it.
ooh, ooh,
And
he's
I
so
did not get your book yet, Sheena, but I will. But I
uh-huh.
read I read it. And I was like, you know what? Because I also have one. It is not published yet.
Yeah.
So I just ordered like my author's copy just so
Mhm.
I can,
Oh yeah.
look it
Nice.
over, see what it looks like,
Mhm.
do all of that.
Yeah.
But it was just like this same call. It's like,
Mm-hmm.
no, you can forget about that. You can forget about what you were doing before. That's not important. This is what you're supposed to be doing. And
Right.
no, people aren't going to understand because it's not for them to understand. So when
Cause
I got to that point, like,
mm,
why are you still trying to understand? explain this to people that are not going to understand because they're thinking earthly minded. They can't see what God has showed you. They can't hear what he's told you. And so you trying to explain that to them is you just gotta keep it to yourself and just let your actions speak.
Yes. Yes. I felt that thing. I was like, ooh.
Hmm.
And that's the hardest part too, because then you gotta have faith to even say it out loud.
Yeah.
You want to say it out loud and then believe for it. And then you're
Hmm.
like, wait a minute, how crazy are they gonna think? Like I had to got to the point where I started telling my friends, I know this gonna sound crazy, but
Hmm. Yeah. Hmm.
and then I
Yeah.
started saying it. They were like, Sheena, at this point, we're done with saying that. We're not doing that.
Hmm.
We believe you.
Right. Yeah. And I'm like, you know what? I say what I say and I mean it, but
Yeah.
sometimes, God make you back it up so
Mhm.
quick. Like, oh,
Yes.
you said that you're gonna do this
Yes.
year?
Yes.
Okay, well, I'm gonna make tomorrow this year.
Frankie.
And
Right?
I'm just like, okay.
So, another lesson in watching what you pray for, when you pray boldly, when you ask
Mm-hmm.
God immediately, or you say, hey, are you prepared for it?
Yeah,
You
absolutely.
have to be prepared for it. And like I said, it's funny that we both walking in the same space of, I love being behind the scenes. I want to be, I can do my thing. I can talk to you one-on-one, but recording
Mm-hmm.
it out there, letting other people see it. But I kind of feel like God is saying, do it differently. It's time for people to
Right.
do something different. People need raw. People need people to
Mm-hmm.
do it.
Exactly.
I heard this saying the other day, and it was like, how can we? Oh, the best way that we can show people basically who God is and Jesus, how Jesus comes into our life is we have to show them our scars and show them how our scars were healed because that's the living proof right there. Jesus
Exactly.
is number one, but sometimes people just need to see, hey, I got cut here, but
Mm-hmm.
my heart got broken here and my mind was
Mm-hmm.
broken as well, and it was healed. And I think that sometimes what we are scared to show because we're like, ooh, what they gonna say? Ooh, what they gonna think? Ooh, I'm like, you just read through how many chapters of me saying I was crazy, broken. Oh yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I had doubt, and my kids get on my nerves. My husband, my marriage was broken. Look, he was like, lay it all out there and hope that it bless somebody. But I think that's definitely kind of what God's looking for now.
Absolutely.
Real. He was like, it's time to
Mm-hmm.
pull back
And
the
I'm
curtain.
glad that you said that because I always say in my videos that
Yeah.
I don't really talk about things that I don't know about.
Yes.
Meaning, if I didn't personally experience it, even
Mhm.
though I may have seen somebody else experience it, I won't really touch on it or get personal with it.
Yeah.
But the things that I know,
Hmm.
you would not, you can't look at somebody and tell what they've been through or know their story or anything like that. But once you open up and tell somebody, and they could be like, well, dang, if this person, I thought that they had it going on. But if they went through this and they're fine, then hey, I can get through it too.
Right. Exactly. Exactly. Well, I think that's the word. That is the word of the year. And I keep telling people, and kind of back what we was talking on, I felt like God just gave me like a message about the power of yes
Mm-hmm.
is the word for 2023. And that's me saying it on video. That's me putting it out there. But kind of going to what you were saying earlier is I think that's what he's wanting everybody to know. And then funny that my pastor brought it up this weekend and he was saying the same thing. I was in tears, like, ooh, ugly. Anytime I get confirmation, I'm just ugly crying.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like,
Oh, I ugly cry all the time.
I know. Let me tell you about becoming a Christian and getting sensitive. That's a whole nother
Mm-hmm.
episode.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, I
Exactly.
was crying earlier, and I'm like, why can I not stop crying? But it was. It's like when you get that confirmation, and when just hearing somebody talk about him,
Mhm.
Or if I'm reading about him or something like that, I'm just like, ooh, yeah,
Mhm.
a mess,
Absolutely.
hot mess. But yeah, it's just so nice to hear, talk to somebody that has the same thing going on.
Mhm.
Sometimes we think we're alone
Right.
and we
Absolutely.
are going crazy. And
Mhm.
stuff we hear is way too big, but it is big because who did it come from?
Exactly.
It is big in our land
Mhm.
because he's like, I'm grand. I'm like,
Right.
if you haven't read the Old Testament, you guys go back and listen to how much gold was placed, these precise dimensions that were placed. Like, it was
Exactly.
grand. You-
Mhm.
and I just think that sometimes that our minds just can't comprehend.
I know. And the
And
thing is, it's not supposed to. And we still try to make sense of it. But it's no sense to be made. And
yeah,
like you were saying earlier, literally, when you go and ask for something, sometimes, and I do this myself, and I had to catch myself like, be careful what you're saying, because if you're saying it and you're really standing on it and believing it, he's feeling that. And he don't have to wait 30
mm-mm.
years down the road. He can move suddenly.
Come on, son.
Like
Yeah.
right then and there. In any situation, like you can't count him out. Like you can count yourself out, but you
Mhm.
can't count him out. So if I'm saying that, hey, you know what, I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna do that, and by next year, you need to be preparing yourself to
Yeah,
step into that role.
yeah, yeah. Especially if you got everything in line. And I think that's another thing too. People need to realize that God will keep you in transition in that test until he says, "Okay, today you're ready."
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's another thing we not ready for either. Is it can be suddenly, and then sometimes he's like, "Mm-mm.
Right.
Let me build up your character. Let me build up your heart a
Mm-hmm.
little bit more. Let me get you prepared. Okay, let me test you, throw you out at this part. How'd you do? Okay, let me try again." But family, don't worry,
Right.
that's okay. We all get it. But no, I just think that's part of it too, and like being comfortable
Mm-hmm.
with that. But no, I think this is good advice and just a good, I don't even like a good mindset check. And I always say a cup check.
Mm-hmm.
Check your cup. I'm like, this is
Right.
the time to check it while you're in process, not when you're jumping out there. You don't want to be out there like, oh, wait a minute, maybe I should have
Mm-hmm.
checked here first. And I want people to know that a lot of the advice and things that we'll be talking about and chatting about, I know people are like, oh, they're out there talking about Jesus again. Oh, yeah,
Right.
they're talking about God again. But honestly, what we're talking about is a mindset and a heart change.
Right.
And it just stemmed around the joy and hope and love we
Exactly.
got when we met Jesus. Okay, this listen, there it goes, right? This isn't like
Yes.
I'm out here with Bible thumping. No, I'm out here saying
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
I went through a full transformation.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what happened. Besides, I heard one call and I answered, and then life
Mm-hmm.
took off from there.
And that's how it happened.
Yes, yes, and it wasn't easy. Not every moment is easy,
Mm-hmm. It's
but
not.
right, it's sometimes it's hard, and you gotta grab hold of that faith.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta say, "Oh, today I need more word.
Yeah.
Or today I need to lock arms with somebody
Mm-hmm.
because I'm not holding my own self up, Lord."
Right.
So yes, I feel like that's exactly what you're pouring into us. And I was like, I know Frankie gonna continue to bless us with more videos, more encouragement, coaching,
Mm-hmm.
whatever. I'm hoping I can have
Right.
you back on here a couple more times. Maybe we'll do a live
Mm-hmm.
chat, see if we can get some people on here to say hello to you and just
Right. Yeah.
questions. But like I said, I knew when I saw your videos, I was like, she has the heart. The heart is
Mm-hmm.
there behind what you're telling people. And it's such a joy. And then I'm like, and then you're like putting a smile to it and you're showing people I can do it and you can too. And that's kind of
Mm-hmm.
the thing that I've been trying to do is if I can sit here and do it. Yes, the accomplishment, but Sheena, you've been in leadership, or Sheena, you've been doing it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I haven't done this.
I know.
Okay. I haven't walked this water before.
Mm-hmm.
This is new water.
And I had people tell me,
And I'm like, oh, wait a minute, which way you? I hear you calling, so you want me to step now? Yeah. How deep is that?
yeah,
Should I be concerned?
that's right. And I've had people to tell me like, "Oh my gosh, Frankie, you are so bold, and you
Yes.
are just like so strong, and you are," and I'm just like, but I'm not. The same things that I'm ministering and
Right.
telling y'all, I'm talking to myself too.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
most of the times, I don't really plan out a video of what I'm going to talk about, but something just hit me and it's just like, I got to get this out there because
Right.
it needs to be out there.
Yeah. And let me hear something from somebody. I'm like, it's healing, and I'm healing in progress in front of
Mm-hmm.
all of you, and that's what it is. It's like I'm
Right. Oh,
healing.
I like that.
Yes, you see that?
Mm-hmm.
I'm healing in progress, and then like they say, salvation is a journey.
Mm-hmm.
And then I always tell people they think you go down in the water, you come back up, and poof.
Right.
And it's not. It's like every single day I have to wake up and choose
Mm-hmm.
the right way.
Exactly. It's a
I have to
choice.
choose to be positive.
Mm-hmm.
I have to choose to think before I talk. I have
Yeah.
to choose.
Exactly.
It is hard.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Mm-hmm.
and then my pastor said something, and then we'll kind of wrap this up. But my pastor said something this weekend and kind of tied it all together. And then in the sermon series that we're in called "Who Am I?" and he said this thing this weekend. He says, "Yes, who are you?" And then you need to also ask yourself, "But have you been born again?"
Mm.
And then, like, if a few years ago, if you would have asked me that, I'd have been like, I don't know about that. Yeah,
Right.
I got baptized, but I don't know. But now, after
Mm-hmm.
continuously walking, getting closer, and doing these things, I'm like, yes,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, yeah. Mhm.
Absolutely. When you don't need any thought, you
Yes, that
just
birthing
know
process
that you know.
is happening. It happened. And let me tell you, those contractions weren't easy,
Mm-hmm.
but we did it.
Yeah.
And it's worth it. That's why I try to tell people it's hard, but it's worth it.
It is.
It is so hard, but worth it. Yeah. Yeah. Well, all right, Frankie, let me see. You got something you can give us, one juicy piece of advice you might want to share before we wrap this thing up?
Um, yeah, I would just say that whatever you have going on, whatever situation, good or bad, if you're thinking about doing something different, if you're thinking about doing something new, if it's been in your mind and in your heart for a while, step out on faith. Just try it. Nothing beats a fail, but a try. So you won't
Mm.
know unless you actually, try to do it. Just put your best foot forward. And if you need help, ask somebody.
Yeah. And, oh my gosh, be humble and ask.
Yeah.
Like, we've all been there, and I am not a professional. I'm like, let me listen. I am not the one, nor the two. Listen, I'm
Right.
gonna look it up. I'm gonna go back to. I cannot do all the scriptures by hand.
Mm-hmm.
But I can tell you what, I can answer some questions. I can give you some faith. I can
Uh-huh.
pour into your cup the best I can. But you are right.
Absolutely.
Nothing beats fail but a try, and we are out here trying, and we need more people to try.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Yeah.
join us. Let's lock arms, right?
Right. Yes.
And collaborate.
We all have something valuable inside of
Yes,
us that the world
yes,
needs.
yes. And let somebody help you pull it out, right?
Yeah.
Let somebody help pull it
Absolutely.
out. And I think that's the thing too. We need to be able to say humbly, I need
Mm-hmm.
help. I need help
Yeah.
to figure this out. And I got this big idea, and I think you may be able to help me with it. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah. So I think that's good. That's good. Well, I
Yeah.
appreciate it. I thank you so much for
Oh,
joining
no
me here.
problem. Thank
And
you for
I look forward
having
to coming
me.
back. You have to
Okay.
tell me again,
Yes.
okay?
All right.
All right.
Thanks.
Thank you, Frankie.
All right.
Have
Bye-bye.
a good one. Thanks.